Okay, this is part 2. I had to put this back together for something else, but I'll take it apart. We're basically going to be taking this plate off and moving this to the side. You need a 5mm hex. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver to get into here, and then 3mm hex. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to take this off. So it has little Phillips screws all the way around it. I already took a lot of them out to make this fit. And then the last one, you might want someone to hold it while you do this. Or if you can do it yourself, but it will. With my screwdriver, or this could fall if someone doesn't hold it for you. But you can do it yourself. You're careful. You're basically gonna unplug this. I already plugged it. Come down here. That wire right there, it just unplugs. Just pulls straight off. Just a plug, pulls straight up. And then we're gonna. There's 3mm here. There's 2 of them. It's possible it could be something else, but 99% of the time they're 3mm. It could have been like a Phillips or something like that, but 99% of the time it's 3mm hex. So you get those off. Put it to the side, and then we're just gonna hang this down. Sorry. If there should be enough slack. If there's not enough slack, find out what's holding it up. You get a little more slack. Sometimes this is under here and it doesn't give the slack. So it should be enough slack for this to hang down and just completely out of your way. Now we're gonna get these 3 here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right now. Okay, I got the short one out of the bottom. There's a short one on the bottom. And these long, the top ones, you can lift up on this to help free it to where it comes out easier. But once you get it loose with a 5mm. And then you're gonna have these 2 spacers in here you need to make sure you put back. They go up top. And then, again, the longer ones go up top. There are 2 of them. And make sure this is turned unplugged under here. You don't want any electricity in here when you're messing in here. And it's just a plate. You can put it to the side. And basically now I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to put the blade back where you had it. Okay, I got it back to where it was. The only thing I can think of here for you to do, I want to take that side off. Go over here, Mike. I would not take this plate off. It's a safety issue. Once that's free, this whole thing can come out. And just be careful around this blade. It's extremely sharp. It's like a giant razor blade. You do not want to touch it. It's possible it could come to the point where you have to damage this blade to get it out by hitting up on it. Now, I know your clamp. I think your clamp is down, so you can manually move the clamp up. See, I'm manually moving it down. Yours is down. Once it's down, it kind of locks into place a little bit. So you got to grab it here and either move this way with it or this. But you need a boom, 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 and it'll eventually break free. Just watch out for your fingers getting into those, and then you can just move it like this, up, from the back part of it, from this to there, once you break it free. If you need to get it out of the way. You may not need to get it out of the way, but that's only if you need to start, hate to say this, but you may have to start hitting up on it to break it free or something, or somehow. But I think maybe before you even have to think about that, when you're doing this, you want someone else to be putting a little slight up pressure on that, not much, just a slight, just in case this thing comes down, because you need to be holding this, and just start. Even if you damage the blade a little bit there, this never comes down. It never comes into play. It always stays behind here, pretty much. The last couple inches of this blade, it never comes into play, cut anything. But stay close as this. You can use this thing as a guide almost, and just like that. See how it fell down on the other side on me because I wasn't, but somebody else was holding that. It would have been better, but I think that's the only way to do it. You gotta use this as a guide, not all the way, because then you can hit the blade and chip it, but kind of back it up just a little bit, just enough to be hitting it right in there somewhere, just below this edge here, because it starts to taper right at that edge. Just below it, but not low enough to start damaging the blade. It didn't take a lot. Mine's probably not jammed near as much as yours, but use this as a guide again and slide it along it. And you guys have some up hits. There's really nothing else you can do here. If you cannot get it by that, the only thing, and I'll just move this out of the way now. Only thing left to do is you would have to reverse this transmission, and basically it reverses from there to there, but it doesn't reverse this way. So basically, if you reverse this transmission, this would free up the blade to go that way, and it would take the pressure off the blade and free it up. And that's something you probably don't want to tackle, it maybe for a technician or something like that to tackle, because it would involve coming back here. You'd have to take the tables off. You'd have to remove this motor, and it's really not that hard, but it can be a little bit. There's just four screws on. You remove that motor, and inside there you can use a big flat screwdriver to turn this transmission manually. and you just have to turn it in reverse. And when you do, this wheel would start to spin this way, and this would move out that way more and take the pressure off the blade. I'm assuming it's jammed up against this. There's really nothing else it can be jammed up against. So that'd be the last thing to do, is to take that motor off and reverse that transmission manually. But I think you can get it just by tapping with that hammer. And again, just use this bar as a guide for that hammer to just tapping it up. And even if you did catch the edge of the blade, that part don't go down here, but try to stay away from the edge. It's best not to damage the blade on the end like that. You know, I showed you where to kind of hit it, and that's basically all you can do. Hopefully it'll break free. Keep somebody holding this with very, very light pressure, you know, just the weight of the blade basically. And then you can be holding this and while you're tapping it, you know, and but have this thing turned off, no power in here, and just be very careful. Remember, that's a giant razor blade. Do not touch that edge under any circumstance or get your fingers too close to it to where you can get hit. That's why you need to be controlling it with the one lolly. That's why you need those lollipops, or you need the that's why you need the lollipops. That way you can control this blade perfectly once you screwed in 3 or 4 turns, you know. And if you don't got these lollipops, you should either get them or get you some long bolts that you can hold on to instead that fit in here. And that's basically it.